you see any of the hijinks that went down in the Jake Paul and Nate Diaz presser? Did you catch any of that? So yes, you did catch.
Nate Diaz.
Oh man, he went off. So there were a couple of interesting things that happened during this.
You're talking about the one that happened today, right?
Yeah, I believe it was today. I think it was either today or last night. I actually don't remember, to tell you the truth.
If it was like verbal sparring and they were going back and forth with each other, I did not see it. The only one that I've seen is when they were sitting there talking and Jake Paul was giving him some compliments and Nate just got up and...
No, you're going to love this then. So, all right. So it started with, there must have been a Q&A session. And I'm not even really familiar with who this guy is, but you might be familiar with him. Do you know what better?
Hawani.
No, this guy named Derek from Better Media. You familiar with that guy? Better Media, I guess, is part of Jake Paul's whatever. I don't know if it's his his production company, and that's what he calls it, Better Media or whatever. But this guy got up to ask Nate a question, and there's clearly some sort of history here, and I'm not really familiar what the history is, but you can kind of get the gist of it when you listen to the clip, which I had to go through and bleep because Nate Diaz has a foul-ass mouth. Here is what happened at the presser today and the interaction with Nate Diaz and one of Jake Paul's crew.
Hey guys, Derek.
Oh, not you again.
Hey,
better keep it professional, my man.
Hey, f you guys. Hey, Nate, sorry, Derek from Better Media here. Nate, I actually just wanted to apologize for the last press conference.
Oh, here it comes.
When I asked to fight your brother in the undercard. I'm sorry that your feelings were hurt.
That was more of a statement than a question.
No, it was an apology.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
And like, it's, maybe if your boys see me, maybe they won't f me up this week.
So there's like the past history part that I was talking about. I have no idea. Oh shit, I hit the wrong button. I was meant to come to us. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that means at the previous press conference. I wasn't able to go back and find that anywhere to see what exactly this dude is talking about with the press conference before that, and wanting to fight Nate Diaz's brother on the undercard or whatever the fuck that means. Did you see that? Do you know what he's talking about?
I did not. But
no. Okay.
The kid sounds absolutely crazy for saying that he wants to fight Nick Diaz too. So
is that guy a brawler too?
Dude, both of them brothers are two badasses. They really are.
All right. So here
anything
it goes.
To say, Nate? Can't wait to watch Jake knock you the fuck out.
Nate did not like that.
Hey, bring this little bitch up here. Get him the fuck out of here. Spread the fuck out.
He's coming.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no. Oh, no. Derek, what have you done?
That's what I wanted. I wanted to see your reaction to that. Well, God damn it, I did it again. Your reaction to that when he got up,
Let
like,
him up there.
yeah, right. Like, well, nothing's gonna happen. You think Nate Diaz would have beat his ass on the stage? Of course not. He's not gonna do anything at all. Then
Nate just beat up and choked out a random guy in the streets of New Orleans at 4 o'clock in the morning not too long ago.
Oh,
Nate
okay.
has also been one to walk through press conferences when Conor McGregor's doing it and start throwing full cans of Monster Energy and bottles of water at the stage. So yeah, he's about to beat the shit out of a fan.
Okay, all right, there you go. So okay, so
Respect from all the
What is going on?
so this is where he starts going off. This is where the foul mouth goes into full effect.
The lack of respect from all the
What is going on?
fucking camp, motherfucker.
Oh, I missed
That's
one.
the
What?
problem.
What is on?
Influences these guys that influence the fucking island gay boys because the motherfuckers like you, bitch. You're the fucking bad guy, and this little right here needs the ass whip. And your dad too.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? After dad too. What does that even mean when he said that, man? I never understood. I watched that like 10 times. I'm like, what is that? Is Jake Paul's dad there? Is that guy's dad there? What is that? Is Jake Paul's dad one of his managers or something?
It's a different lane than saying your mom.
Fuck your dad too.
That's what he said. Fuck your dad, fuck your whole family. Look.
It was great. And then there's also there was a it turned out that there was a little dust up in it too. So
Of course there was.
oh, it's a good one too, buddy. Wait till you see it.
God, I hope Nate smacks the shit out of this kid this weekend.
All right, so here's the end of the presser. Here is the how it went down. It's a little long, so I might end up kind of scrubbing our way through it here, but
Right.
it kind of, you'll see how it starts.
Ooh, see, Nate has that whole MMA.
Blah blah blah. It's just them standing next to each other. Now, I'll be honest with you, Nate looks real small compared to Jake. Jake looks jacked compared to him, as far as I'm concerned.
Nate's coming up. Nate's coming up to fight, or coming up and wait to fight this dude.
So he had to put on a little.
I think they're fighting at 185. Nate said he struggled with putting on the weight and staying in shape cardio-wise at the beginning of this training camp.
Well, if you look at his arm right there, I mean that tricep's not too tight. Jake's got a nice tight tricep there. Not so much for Nate.
Nate Diaz has never ever once looked muscular, ripped, jacked, anything like that. If anything, he looks like a string bean getting into the ring, and then he just surprises you.
Okay, all right. So he's deceptive. Maybe that's what we got to worry about with PDJ. Maybe PDJ and Diz when they finally rumble. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
scrawny and skinny PDJ.
Yeah. He just better be able to run and run and run and run and run.
So this is just a bunch of FUs, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You this, you a bitch. You can't really even hear what they're saying. They're just talking yak back and forth. And then something happens right about here. They start getting a little bit closer to each other. And this guy, so who's that guy in the middle? Do you know who that guy is? The guy that was kind of running it, Mikey?
No, that's just like a fight announcer or something like that, like one of the promoters.
I didn't know if this was like well, that's what I meant. Like, so you don't know who he is though, but he is involved in like the promotions, or he's like
the guy
part of the zone or whatever.
Yeah, the guy that was fielding questions, I think, to begin with, that said, "Oh no, not him again." I think that's Ariel Helwani. He's one of the top beat reporters.
Isn't that not him? Oh, okay.
No, that's not him.
Whoever this guy is.
He must have moved out of the way. Wasn't Ariel Helwani on the stage at the beginning?
Right there, I thought actually too. So maybe that's just because it was two different clips and they were dressed similarly.
Gotcha.
So, but you see, Nate kind of turns to this dude and gets in his face a little bit, and that's where things he gets up close up on him, and he sees him got his arms dropped like he's talking smack to the guy. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts to kind of, and I think like he's like yelling at him like, "Why did you let that guy up there and talk shit to me?" Or I don't even know why he would go at that guy. But then you see fucking Sasquatch come in, this fucking gigantor, this black guy from the right. Look at this dude come in to save the day. No.
Disaster.
Yeah, Disaster comes in and he decides, no, this is not how this is going to go down. And
I'd still put all my money on Nate Diaz knocking that dude out.
So I think, but who, that big guy?
Yep.
But you watch where this goes from here. I don't know what Jake's saying. He's calling him a bitch. But right there, all right, big black guy says, all right. Disaster says, all right, mini Disaster. You got to move. I don't like you being here talking to this guy. I don't like whatever you're going to say. So he calmly removes him. Dude doesn't like that. For some reason, they cut away. I don't know why in the world they would cut away.
Just in case something happens.
And then the room clearer. Now, I've done one of these before, and that, thank God, didn't happen to me. I was at a tailgate one time where I was at one of my buddy. He used to do tailgates, and we had all this equipment, all this DJ equipment out. He was actually, one of his other buddies was DJing, and all the equipment was out. And all of a sudden, there was a fight that started breaking out right in front of a DJ booth. And I'm like looking at all the equipment. He looks at me and he goes, "We got to protect the equipment." So I just got big. And I did exactly what that guy did, man. I just took myself and put my big arms and big long ass arms out and just went, and just bowled through a whole group of people and just shoved them into a whole nother group of people just to get them away from the DJ booth. But thank God when I did that, and I'm not saying like I was a badass. There was nobody, I mean, this wasn't a badass move or something. It was just, it was a group of people they were in the middle of a tussle. I just moved their tussle to another spot so it didn't knock all our shit over. But thank God when I was doing it this didn't happen to me, because this guy takes a shot. But boy, the guy that throws the punch, Mikey, oh boy, does he pay for it. Watch this. So here's takes a shot, right? Boom, and then boom, 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 boom.
Oh, two-piece and a biscuit real quick.
he got
Go
blasted.
Back. I need to see that again.
He got absolutely pummeled when that guy decided to do it. So let's hear one more time. He takes the shot, boom, and then boom, boom, boom.
He didn't even get hit. He ducked it. If you look, he matrixed that shit. He said, "Oh, word, wop wop."
Man, but those were some bombs. Thank you, DAZN Boxing. Hopefully, it doesn't get kicked off and get us copyrighted. But hey, it was worth it. It was fun to watch that. I enjoyed it. So yeah, you still think that Nate is gonna win, or you still think Jake has a chance to win? I can't remember who you thought was actually gonna win that.
Jake does have an outside chance of winning. I really do think, but it's going to be one of those things. The beginning of the fight is going to tell, because Nate Diaz takes a lot of damage sometimes, and the
that's
first
right.
3 rounds will tell you a lot.
He's a bleeder.
So if Nate Diaz makes it out of the first 3 rounds and he's doing pretty well, I think he's going to absolutely piece Jake up in the second half of the fight.
Okay, all right. So we'll see if he can make it through, if Jake can get him down early, or outlast the late barrage that you're anticipating coming in. So, all right. I don't know enough about MMA to know either way. And it's not even MMA, it's boxing, I guess, technically. So
I love all the combat sports like that.
Yeah. All right. I did mention I can only tolerate so much of it, dude, to be honest with you. It's got to be huge names where I know it's going to be a really good fight. And I'm just boxing.
You're a regular fan.
I like boxing more. It's just like I spend there watching UFC thinking to myself, this would be so much better if they just made them stand there and throw punches. That's just what I think of the whole time when I watch it.
And I like a nice wrestling match. I like some crotch sniffers.